Hey guys, this is iGlowEasy here, and today we're gonna be doing a Tempest build. I'm gonna be using this character, but don't worry. This is the other Tempest from Team Fabulous, and both of them have the same skill build, pure PvE skill builds because this designed by me. So I'm gonna be explaining to you guys why I add certain skills, why certain skills weren't added, why some were added instead. And also, I'll be doing an artillery guide based on another BM's skill build. He sent it to me already, so I just have to put it all together, compilation, and make a new video to show you guys the build. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this character to show you guys and explain to you guys. And so this is NanoLyn. So thanks to him for lending me his account. Yeah, so if you can see, we actually have an issue with his hair, like most of the team, which is quite, I don't know, we just feel it's ugly. So just, if you think it's ugly, just tell him, so he'll finally decide to change it. He'll be convinced. Yeah. Alright, so if you look at the archer build, it's pretty standard. All your evasion skills are maxed. Mental mastery is left at 3 because you can actually take out from MultiShot and add to mental mastery, so it's like up to you whether or not you feel you need it. But personally, for PvE build, usually mental mastery or mind conquer, at level 1 is enough. Yeah. MultiShot. Okay, a lot of people have an issue with MultiShot and twin shot. Like they debate, oh, twin shot, the cooldown so short and all that, and you can just spam it. But the reality is that for Bowmaster, I mean, if for Bowmaster you want to max twin shot is okay, but for Acrobat, the reason why people don't usually max twin shots because your windows for these kind of filler skills really isn't a lot. Yeah, so I mean, because especially later on I'll be explaining the cycles, the cycles for attacking, for Tempest especially. So you realize that you have very little time for you to spam twin shot or anything like that. So most of the time what you want to do is just let out a big burst in the mid, like for a filler, short burst, and go back into your cycles, because most of the time your cooldowns, average cooldowns for Tempest skills is about 10 seconds. So yeah, you really don't have a lot of time for all these filler skills. So multi-shot is probably the best, just burst everything out and then continue with the cycles. Moonkick is actually good for, I would say it's good to help you push yourself down after you're in the air or something like that, and you really need to go back to hit the ground fast. Right, so for Wise of Owl, some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. In all honesty, it really depends on your party whether or not they have max crit. If they're max crit, then there's really no point having Wise of Owl. Yeah. But I mean, if your party, some of them don't have max crit, something like that, then yeah, just go ahead and add it or max it if you want. But it's really not like fantastic. Alright, so for the Acrobat build, if you take a look here, the first thing you'll notice is probably that I have no blooming kick and no cyclone kick, which is why I say it's a pure PvE build. Right, so why do you have no blooming kick and why no cyclone kick? First of all, okay, let's look at blooming kick. Blooming kick is terrible in terms of the damage, and yeah, it's just all around the damage is just terrible. Damage to casting animation, damage to cooldown, the ratio is just bad, alright? So no point adding it. Cyclone kick, the damage is decent, just decent, it's not fantastic or anything. So it's not a skill you like max to 6 or 11. So really that isn't really much of a purpose in adding it. The damage really isn't fantastic at all. And most of the time people end up like cancelling it or something along the way because yeah, they need to dodge. So Cyclone Kick at the end of the day in PvE, unless of course you have Cyclone Kick EX, which is in level 70, there really isn't much of a point in adding it. Yeah, so Yeah, so if you saw just now, spiral kicks at level 1. So yeah, that spiral kicks at level 1. Spiral kick at level 1 really is because for Tempest, spiral kick is just not good. Yeah, I mean if you're a Windwalker, then it's alright, I guess. Alright, so Air Pounce. Air Pounce is, yeah, if you saw the Tikian solo of iDianeX, his Air Pounce damage is pretty crazy, and you notice that Air Pounce only has a cooldown of 6 seconds, which is madness. And considering damage you can have, for those that don't know, if I remember correctly, iDianeX in Desert Dragon, his Air Pounce does about 1 mil per hit, and you can have 5 pounces every 6 seconds. So that's easily 5 mil every 6 seconds. Yeah, so you do the math, and it's, yeah, basically crazy skill to use. So moving down, Eagle Dive. Eagle Dive, it's, people have said, oh, you know, Eagle Dive is really good, like a one-hit damage kind of thing, for good for burst, or I don't know what they say. But for Tempest, okay, if you're talking about Windwalker, then definitely Eagle Dive might be something you want to consider because of the EX. But if not, then it's really not that useful at all, because most of the time you don't get a chance to really, yeah, use it a lot, yeah, safely. And also because, yeah, you spamming Eagle Dive is really not something Tempest should be doing as well. Alright, so kick shot damage is, if you take a look at the skill numbers, it's pretty high. And actually what makes it incredibly powerful to see is the kick shot EX. 70% damage bonus, so whatever bonus you get here, whatever growth you have here, is amplified by times 1.7 times, which is, if you calculate from here, it's really crazy. And just some numbers here and there. iDianeX, for those that don't know, if I can't really remember, but if I'm not wrong, his kick shot in Desert Dragon or any raid nest is totals up to about 3 mil or 4 mil, I think, I can't remember. So binding shot's a lot, there's a lot of debate saying, oh, no, binding shot's not good and all that, because it only has 2 hits. But actually binding shot EX, if a lot of people don't realize actually, is a skill that has what we call a coefficient, and binding shot EX actually can hit up to 5 times, I think, or more. Yeah, and for this character, which has only 20k or so physical attack with with I think 70% FD, can hit up to 5 times. Each hit is about 2 to 300k, so the damage is really crazy. Alright, so if you look at double somersault kick with the EX is gonna be crazy, and it's really your staple damage skill for any class, for any Acrobat, yeah, whether you're Windwalker or you're Tempest. Yeah, so that's something you really need to add, like definitely need to add. Oh yeah, adding on to binding shot, another reason why you want to add binding shot is because binding shot is really one of your staple skills. It's really going to be like your staple damage skill that's going to connect binding shot EX, double somersault kick EX, and then Air Pounce or something like that. Yeah, and on top of that, it has the debuff, so that's something you're really going to be spamming a lot, like really a lot. Alright, so double somersault kick, like I said, is really one of your staple skills. Any Acrobat class should add it. And you see the damage, yeah, so if you can see here, the damage boost from the EX really helps it a lot. And because you're a Tempest, these skills really have a lot of damage. Yeah, so you really need to make sure that you make full use of it. And because of the short cooldowns, binding shot only has 11 seconds, double somersault kick has no cooldown at all. It's really good. Alright, so for Spiral Vortex, people ask me, why did you only add 6? And the reason why is because Spiral Vortex is not really a main DPS skill. Yes, it is a decent damage skill, but it's definitely not a main DPS skill. Reason being because casting animations too long and all that, and yeah, the damage is just not good overall, especially with the cooldowns and all that. 20-second cooldown. It's really not fantastic, and people say, oh no, you shouldn't. If you're concerned about action speed and all that, then just add action speed plate. But the thing is, if you add that, then you're gonna waste a plate slot, skill plate slot, which is stupid, right? Like, no point wasting a slot. Alright, so if you look on top, yeah, if you go back to the top, in the middle section, yeah, you're gonna have Spirit Shot. Spirit Shot is at level 1 because obviously this is a PvE build, not a PvP build. So it really isn't something you want to max. So for Chain Trampoline is more for like mobility skill, as same as Tip Tops. Yeah. So Tip Tops and Chain Trampoline are your mobility skills, and because acrobats are meant to be really agile and really fast, for those that don't know, acrobat is one of the lowest, one of the classes with the lowest defense and magic defense. So it's really one of the classes that you need to dodge and use iframes well, like really well. Okay, so for circle shot, people debate and say, oh no, like circle shot is not good damage and you don't really use it a lot. But personally, for me, circle shot is more of an extra iframe, like good for dodging. If you know how to use your circle shot, it really can be an asset if you know how to use it, because for things like jump dodging and all that, sometimes if you're laggy, or like you're lagging, or I don't know, something happens, then this skill really comes in handy because it really adds to your, first of all, adds to your airtime. Second of all, it gives you iframes, which you can just use anytime if you know how to use it. So overall, I mean, this skill is really very good utility skill, but damage wise, of course, I'm not saying it's good, but utility, in terms of utility, it's really amazing. Alright, so next we have yeah, countering shot. Countering shot, if you actually look at the skill damage, yeah, over there, it's really low, and it's definitely not a like damage skill, right? Obviously not. So why bother adding it? Actually, it's because as an acrobat, you're going into melee range, and a lot of times you're going to be like knocked into the air if you don't dodge or make a mistake. So you really need it to get back on your feet. Yeah, and if you just saw Tip Tops, the cooldown is only 2 seconds, which is crazy. So yeah, that definitely is a mobility skill. Short bow mastery, you see the damage is increased and the range is increased of your damage of your attacks, but mainly you'll be adding it for the attack power, not so much for the attack range unless it's PvP. So yeah, and the damage boost is good. Spirit boost, I don't think I need to explain, is really a stable skill. Yeah, everyone needs it for party acrobats. And spiritual excel, people have like said, oh, you know, you don't really need spiritual excel, you can just completely take it out. But if you look here, 22k physical attack, and one buff, it goes up to 23k. Yeah, so it's actually quite a hefty boost, and if, yeah, especially if you're using final damage, like the boost, 1k physical attack is going to be a lot, especially if you have final damage on. So that's why it's really quite a good skill to have. I mean, if you really don't like it, then you don't have to max it, but definitely it gives a significant boost into your damage. Even for physical attack, full physical attack characters, it's still going to be good because you're going to have high agility and all that. Yeah. Divine Rage, okay, between Divine Rage and Spiral Edge, a lot of people ask, like, is Divine Rage that useless? Actually, no, it's not. But the reason why people prefer Spiral Edge is because in terms of using it, it's much easier to use, and the damage to cooldown is much better, I suppose. Yeah, a skill basically that you can spam. Alright, so evade for Tempest. For Tempest, evade is good, really good. Helps you to survive and all that, but I mean the downside is it cancels skills sometimes, so you just need to make sure that you avoid getting hit, but in the event the evade comes on, then it's good for you. Right? Hurricane Dance, people say Hurricane Dance is useless and whatever, but Hurricane Dance seriously is really good. It helps it gives you a huge iframe really if you know how to use it, and it's a really good filler skill. It doesn't do like extremely high damage, but definitely is like a decent skill to use as a filler and as well as iframe. For example, Manticore in Desert Dragon, if you know the light balls that fly around, yeah, you can actually avoid them by using Hurricane Dance. So these are the ways that Tempest can use all the skills in terms of dodging and all that. Yeah, so the cycles is really, yeah, you can just take a look at iDianeX, his TKN norm solo. So yeah, I'm sorry if you guys like have a problem with my voice or the mic. My old mic broke, so I don't actually have a mic anymore. I'm using computer mic. So yeah, just anyway, so look out for the next video, which is artillery build, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.